Hi everybody, since there were some questions about School Dismissal Manager, we thought we'd do a quick video. First, you can go to schooldismissalmanager.com and then you can use your username and log in to get in. Before we get started, I thought I might show you what the back end of School Dismissal Manager looks like. It looks like this. Every single teacher, every single day gets a report that says which students are going to be picked up in the classroom, which ones are going to base, which ones are going to the car line, and which ones are going to the walking school bus, and which ones are allowed to walk or bike home independently. So it's very important that you keep your School Dismissal Manager up to date, because every single day we'll be using these lists to send your students to the correct location. So today we're going to be giving you 3 tips. First, how to log into School Dismissal Manager and set your preference. Second, how to create an exception. And third, how to assign your student to someone else's car to create a carpool situation. So first thing you want to do is set your preferences and default for each student. So you go up here and you click on there and you say, hey, for this student, I'm going to have them go to base every day. And for this student, I'm going to jump in the car line. They're going to ride home with a friend. And once you've got that default, that's what will happen for those kids every single day until you create an exception. So then creating exceptions is really easy. Just pick the date of the exception, click on the date, and then just go in and change that student's exception to a different selection. Rather than going in the car line, this kid will now go to base on this day because that's the exception. And you can put a note, hey base, make sure to feed him a snack. Okay, so now let's take a look at how to create a carpool situation by assigning your student to somebody else's car. It's very easy. Just click on the calendar on any particular day and assign your student to the car line. And when you assign your student to the car line, it says, well, who are they going to go home with? You can type right in there, grandma, and then put her name, Sally Jones, and then when she can show her ID in the car line, and we'll know that we're handing your student off to the correct person. Or you can assign your student to someone else who goes to our school. So for example, Melissa Grunholtz is our operations manager. She's a friend of mine. Maybe she's going to take home my student. So I type in her name. There she is right there. And so I click on her and assign my student to her car. And there it is. Now my student is assigned in the car line to Melissa Grunholtz. What's great about this is when Mrs. Grunholtz shows up with her placard with her number on it, my student has been assigned to her. So she doesn't need my placard. We just type in her number, and now my student is assigned to her, and I've updated this and hit done, and now my student will end up in Mrs. Grunholtz's car. Okay, so those are the 3 tips for today: setting your default, creating an exception, and then assigning your student to someone else's car so that when they show up in the parking lot, they can pick up your student. Now, just one quick note about the placard. Many people have asked questions about the placard because they've received more than one. Well, each placard has a unique code on the front of it, and that unique code is associated with each parent in the family. Therefore, when a parent drives into the parking lot and we punch in that code, School Dismissal Manager tells us which students are associated with that parent. One nice feature about these placards is that if you assign your student to somebody else's car, you don't need to give them your placard. When they arrive in the parking lot, we'll punch in their code, and since you've assigned your student to that person, their code will then bring your student to the parking lot. Okay, I hope that helps clear up some information about the placard.